Jake from JKM Guitars, and this is another weekly behind the scenes video. I didn't get to make one last week, I was in England for a family arrangement. But now I have both these guitars I've been talking about probably the entire past 4 weeks, 5 weeks, finally finished, so I can show you what they're like. So let's start with this one here. So this is an Empire Series 485 fan fret, as you can see by the different lengths of strings between the bass and the treble, and it is made from sinker redwood for the soundboard, lovely set of Indian rosewood for the back and sides, some color appointments for the center back strip, heel cap, end graft, and then front and back head veneers, and then flame maple for the binding, and it even has a slim profile armrest bevel here. So extra features that it also has is a sound port, so the player can hear more directly the sound that they're making when they're playing. Had a cutaway, of course, and then it's also got an Indian rosewood neck. So hardwood necks are very nice. They add a lot more to the sustain. Have a real good kind of feel to them as well, good weight to them. As I mentioned in previous videos, the end block, the tail block, has 2 brass rods in. Both these guitars have, as a help counterweight it. So it still kind of falls a little bit more to the bottom of the guitar, even though it's got a heavier neck than a mahogany neck would have. I do plan on replacing the tuning buttons on both these guitars with ebony ones. The tuning buttons add about 50 grams of weight to the headstock. That doesn't sound like a whole lot, but as it's the furthest part away from the kind of center point of your guitar, it does actually help tip the neck over. So I think replacing those with ebony would look nicer and also help with the balance of the instrument. So it's a very nice guitar, very lovely deep sound. And it's just got loads of sustain, just keeps on ringing. So the sinker redwood has a lot kind of warmth to it. It's a much more kind of similar in vein to cedar, but you still get, as a pairing with the Indian rosewood, heaps of sustain, loads of goodness to it. And then the sound port really helps kind of hear the clarity. You sometimes see classical players, and they're usually bent over, or jazz players as well, so they're trying to hear the sound as directly as they can. This eliminates that, so you can hear just as well what you're playing as the audience will hear, so it can help nuance you that way as well. So I'm really happy with this build. Really happy with the waterfall cutaway, which I showed I think in week 2 or week 3 how to do that. It's come out really cleanly. It looks really neat. Looks as though the wood's just been folded over, which is a really nice effect. I like to have the heels of my necks fall into the cutaway, so there's a nice smooth transition, so there's no lumps or bumps to get in the way. I also prefer to have the heel cap flush with the back of the body. Just it helps with the finishing, makes it a little easier. I think it just gives a nice kind of clean, uniform profile look to it as well. So these were the first 2 guitars I had tried the epoxy sealer filler with, as I showed in the previous episode, I think. I think it gave really good results. I think it adds a little bit more durability to the material, makes it a little bit more kind of knot proof. As an all-on wax finish, it isn't bulletproof. It's usually only as strong as the material is on. So when it comes to softer woods like sinker redwood or cedar, you're obviously more prone to dings and nicks if you're not very careful. So the epoxy helps add a bit more toughness to it. It's not a huge amount, but it does help if you get tiny knocks and bumps. It should help soften any damage that will get caused. Another thing I did differently on this guitar was, instead of having a volute, I had the head veneer bleed into the back of the neck. It gives a real nice kind of clean feel to it. I'm so used to doing volutes, this is quite different to me, but I think the results came out really well. So yes, a lovely guitar. I should get photos and all set up on the website soon enough. And also also some demos made up in the next week or two as well, so watch out for those. They should be coming soon. And then the next guitar is an absolute beast. This is the 514 Empire series, and this is a fanfret baritone. So it's got a much deeper body. It's about 5 inches at the bottom here. To make it more comfortable, it's got a belly bevel and also one of the slim profile armrest bevels as well. So even though it's a big guitar, it doesn't feel like a big guitar. It's not really cutting into your here or on your forearm. So the scale length on this fanfret is 26 to 25 inches, 26 for the low string, while on this one it is 28 for the low string, 28 inches, and 27 for the high string. The reason people do fanfrets is similar to a harp guitar, a harp even, or a grand piano. The bass strings are longer than the treble strings, and this helps even out the tension, and it seems to just have a lot more kind of fullness to the sound of the notes getting played as well. So you don't have to really alter your playing style very much. Naturally your hand kind of splays in that angle as you're moving up and down the neck anyway. So if you're not actively paying attention, it doesn't really feel like you're having to play differently to still use a fanfret guitar. Again, this has a big old sound port, so you can hear it just as clearly as everyone else. And it has an aged cedar soundboard and Wenge for the back and sides, and also Wenge for the neck as well. This one has the volute like I normally do, and ebony binding and appointments. So my aim with this guitar, using the aged cedar and the walnut and the ebony to make a really dark theme guitar, have a really kind of moody kind of appeal to it. I think it pairs really nicely with the notes, so I'll just play some for you. So this baritones are normally tuned to B, but this is actually tuned down to A. This is what it was designed for. So again, lows of sustain still going, so it's tuned A, D, G, C, E, and then A. So it's the same intervals as on a standard acoustic. So if you were to capo the 7th fret, that would be a standard guitar. So you can still use all your chord shapes, they just obviously have a different name. So instead of E minor, it'll be A minor. And I just really love that fat, low A sound. It just sounds really lush. So you should be easily to transpose all your playing that you do on a regular acoustic guitar, and then play it onto this baritone with no issues. The only thing will be that because the frets are of wider spacing, if you have any very wide chords that span over 4 frets, you might find it a little bit trickier to get your fan in position, but I'm sure with a bit of practice you'll be able to get the knack of it. I think it just sounds huge. And it just keeps on ringing. So if you do like a lot of fingerstyle playing, this could be a sort of guitar to add to your collection, because it just gives a lot. It gives a lot more, especially low end. I currently have a customer looking to get a baritone commission because their singing voice has dropped with age, and so they want an instrument that matches their new timbre of singing. And I think a baritone is the best way to go. So it has its niche in your collection, I think. So those are the two new builds. Neither of them come with pickups. Usually when I make guitars out for stock or for show, I tend to not add pickups into them, just because it's a high value item to kind of stick in things that you're not necessarily selling straight away, but they can be added at the customer's request. So of course that affects on the price and all, and other things as well. The Empire series usually comes with a hybrid titanium truss rod. So this one does have it, but due to the odd neck length, there weren't any available in this size. So this has a regular truss rod again. That'll be reflected in pricing and stuff. So like I said, this one has the brass inserts in the tail block, and so I will also be replacing these buttons with ebony ones just to help balance the instrument out, especially with the extra long neck. Losing any weight at this end will make a big difference on how it sits in your lap. So that's the two newest builds, and of course it doesn't stop here in the workshop. And so the next two guitars I'm currently working on are two Foundation series, the entry-level models, but they're a bit more special. So I'm using red gum. Let me find it for you. I'll grab some. So the next two guitars will have this red gum for the back and sides. It's not usually a material offered in the Foundation range, but there's a few reasons why I wanted to make two with it. First reason is I had two sets of red gum, so why not? And secondly, I think my opinion will be that red gum isn't a material people would naturally pick. They wouldn't go in their collection and go, you know what I need? I need a red gum guitar. I think it's more a guitar you would select with this material once you kind of see it and hear it. So I think it would be best to get these made up so people can experience it and see what it sounds like and see whether it's for them. Another thing I'm going to do with these is have them nearly identical apart from the soundboards. So one will be cedar and one will be thicker spruce. And then I think that will be a really good kind of way of showing the differences between the two-tone woods of soundboards. And then it will help kind of display the characteristics that they each have, with the rest of the materials and specifications being very, very similar. So I'm really looking forward to them coming along. I'd like to try and get them done before Christmas, but you always run out of time at Christmas time, so we shall see. But they're coming along quite well so far. I have all the bits and pieces picked out. So yeah, thanks so much for watching. If you have any questions or queries about my work, please let me know. Pop a comment, and I'll try and get them answered in future videos. So like and subscribe. Try and get one of these out every week, along with some other videos here and there as well, demos and different things explaining what I'm doing. Well, thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you next week.